Welcome to Longshore Coffee. My name is Stephen Miller and I am the owner and operator of Longshore Coffee. I want to take a moment to welcome you to the channel and to introduce Longshore to you and to the rest of the world. We're a new small batch coffee roasting operation here in Providence, Rhode Island, but we're shipping all over the United States. And our vision here at Longshore is to bring global coffee to local communities and through that process, bring people together around a common cup of delicious coffee. So I hope you'll join me in that endeavor and bringing global coffee to local people. And I hope you'll buy a bag as well. But let's take a moment, and I want to introduce you to the channel and introduce who we are at Longshore, who I am, and what the vision is for this company and how you can be a part of that. So first, a little bit on the background of Longshore and who I am, how I got started in roasting coffee. Before founding Longshore, I was a high school social studies teacher in Providence, and I loved it. I got to work with awesome kids, and I worked as a teacher for about 6 years. During most of that time, I was responsible for their capstone project, which at my school was a graduation requirement. And I had all the seniors every year each create a unique business plan for a small business and then exhibit that plan as if they were opening the business at the end of the year. It was an awesome experience, but I had no personal experience in entrepreneurship. I was just given this project and I said, awesome, let's do it. It sounds like a lot of fun. Year after year, I would use a coffee business, whether it's a cafe or a roastery or some combination of those, as my example for the students. And then one year, a kid said to me, yo, why don't you give that a shot? You've been teaching us and you seem to be pretty good at teaching us these ideas. Why don't you go start your own? And so I took her seriously. And the next year, which was last year, the 2020-2021 school year, I actually did that, and I started Longshore as an example for my students with the goal of making it a viable business by the end of the year and actually transitioning into that full time. So that was a big step for me, and I loved my job as a teacher, but I wanted to take that next step into making this coffee business real. So I started spending money and buying equipment. I started roasting at home. I was selling coffee out of a backpack at church and at school, which definitely looked really sketchy, but it was a great way of test marketing and learning how to roast. And I learned so much from that experience. By the end of the school year, I got to the point where I was able to actually open this business and for real. So I bought a roaster, I started renting a space, and I quit teaching, and I'm now hopping into this coffee roasting business full time. We're right at the beginning right now, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But that's my background. That's how I ended up here. And that's really why I'm filming any of this, because I want to provide not just great coffee, but great information on what it's like to be an entrepreneur, to take that risk, and to take the adventure of starting your own business. It's really exciting, and I want to share that with y'all. So I hope you'll join me as we continue in the rest of these videos, learning what that's like, and I can share my experiences with y'all as we do it. So next, I want to talk to you not just about the background, but the current progress and where we're at. So at the time of recording this, I have launched the sales page of longshorecoffee.com. I've launched that. It's live online. I've been selling a few bags, and that's where we're at currently. I'm very early in the process here. The next step for me is selling coffee in front two people in person via a mobile vending operation. So I have a cart where I'll be selling nitro and cold brew and hot coffee, all kinds of good stuff. I'm working on getting that set up, as well as doing some pop-ups with the goal of eventually opening a cafe here at the roastery. In other videos, I'll walk you through the whole roastery, what it looks like, what the shop looks like. You can see the roaster behind me. It's a Mill City 3 kg, so I'll walk you through that machine. And I'm really excited for that. So currently though, it's just online sales and a lot of in-person selling bags of coffee. And the next step is getting that brewed coffee into people's mugs and getting coffee to them directly. So that's where we're at, and that's where we're going. Eventually, I do want to build a cafe here at the roastery and then open a second location that's a little more accessible, just because of where we're located right now. It's a great spot for me, but it could be more accessible. So that's a vision for the future. Some people might ask, why not start with a cafe? It's, that's a big money maker. You can make a lot more revenue that way. Well, I chose to start with just the roastery instead of the roastery and the cafe for a number of reasons. It'd be nice to have that revenue stream, but I don't have professional experience in the coffee industry. So I wanted to make sure I understood what I was doing and I understood coffee before I took that step of opening a cafe. Sure, I could open it now and make decent money, but I want to make sure that I'm offering an excellent product. So I'm taking time to really learn the roasting and really learn the cup before I take the next step of doing a full cafe. And there's also just the financial side of it, and that it costs a lot of money to do that. And sure, I could go out and get a loan, but I really want to make sure I'm doing this as responsibly as possible. And just where I'm at financially, it didn't really make sense to do a cafe and a roastery. So it's more affordable for me to just do the roastery and to build up from there, kind of grow at the speed of cash, which you'll hear me talk about in later videos. So what can you do to be part of this? And why should you even care about this new coffee company? Well, if you want to be part of the global local connection, that's something that I'm going to talk about a lot. It's part of the philosophy of Longshore, global coffee in local community. If you want to be a part of that, it's a great thing to do. By supporting small businesses like me in specialty coffee, you're not just supporting me and helping me, pay my bills and feed my dog. You're also supporting global farmers, global coffee farmers in Guatemala and Mexico and Ethiopia and all over the place. A lot of the farmers where I'm getting my coffee from, they're not operating these huge mega farms that we're used to seeing here in the United States. A lot of these are small family operations, especially, if you're getting coffee from, say, Ethiopia or Rwanda. Like, those are mostly smallholder farms. And so by supporting me, you're supporting them. And also, just small businesses are the backbone of the American and the global economy. So it's a great way to keep things going. And so I really appreciate that. If you want to help out, you can buy a bag of coffee. I'll put a link up here in the cards and also in the description. Right now we have 2 blends for sale, our 2 core staple blends, a medium roast called Backpack and a dark roast called Boss Babe, as well as 2 single origins, one from Rwanda and another from Mexico. I'm really excited about those. They're delicious. So you can stop by longshorecoffee.com and pick up a bag of coffee. Use the promo code VIDEO10 for a cool 10% off your order. And most of all, the most important thing is when you brew that coffee, enjoy it with a friend. Share a cup of coffee with somebody that you love, someone that you care about, and build that local connection with global coffee. I'm Stephen Miller. This is Longshore Coffee. Cheers.